You know how you're having a good day. It's like the more information I learn, the higher I grow. It's like, they'll have the top tier demons trying to mess with you. You know what I mean? They're trying to create situations to throw you off track or trying to get you back into the matrix. They want you to be comfortable here. They want you to just think everything is okay and that you're just really tripping. They really want you to second guess yourself, second guess the information that you know to be true, second guess the information that you found, right? And you gotta understand that that's their job. That's their job as an NPC, as an organic portal. Their job is to diverge, create chaos, and protect the beast system. That's all they're here for. They're not going to turn on the system that guarantees them the ability to exist without without immediate control, because they're controlled, but without immediate control, as long as that they abide by the rules and regulations, those that we know of as humans and ones that they have as their own demons. But one thing I was speaking about today was like I was chilling, trying to get some rest, which we know is hard to do. And like my mom was like calling my phone. She's texting me like she needs to talk to me. And like anytime my mom says that, like I know it's about some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I already know, like here comes the bullshit. So I just was kind of avoiding the calls. And then when I finally called her, she's like outside, right? She's telling me she's outside. And at this point, she's telling me she needs to talk, right? So I'm at this point, I'm like, man, I'm not coming outside to talk to you. Just tell me what you want to tell me over the phone. So she's talking to me about how, right? Well, let me give you some backstory, right? You know how I've been calling the police on my neighbors because they make the noise. You know what they do, right? They make the noise, they stomp. It's just real ignorant, real demon shit, right? So I've recorded me asking them to stop making the noise. I've also recorded trash. I've recorded them following me. I've recorded them being around me, putting themselves around me. Just odd coincidences, things that you can't really consider to be ironic after so many times I've kind of caught them in the acts of doing things. So they want to try to flip the switch on me because it was working, right? So, my mom calls me. She's like, oh, the police called me and they were like, well, somebody from this house is calling and it's starting to become harassment on the neighbors, and they were trying to say that they were going to arrest whoever was making those calls if I kept on making the calls, right? And so mind you, right now they're not supposed to release any information about who made the calls or where the calls came from, right? Now we know they have caller ID and we know they do what they want to do, but legally they're not supposed to do that, right? So they called my mom to talk about arresting me for calling the police on my neighbors about things that I can prove, right? So I come outside. At this point, I'm livid. I'm mad. I'm pissed off, right? I'm not scared. I'm just mad because I'm just like, it's just another thing, man. It's just like it's like when you shut them up, you get them into a corner. It's like this just further proves, man, and you already know this, but it just further proves how involved everyone is, man. So I go outside and I see my aunt. And so to give you context, my aunt, my cousin, and we only use that term by like I just known them all my life, but they're not really blood family. But he's a Baltimore City police officer, right? For like 10 some years, right? So basically, my mom tries to bring my aunt out here as the expert on police to try to tell me how serious the situation was and how close I was to being arrested for calling the police on my neighbors about things I can actually prove they're doing. I just want you guys to think that it's not like I'm prank calling the police. I'm not just calling them. I'm literally calling the police about noise. Now, I was doing it at an irate manner. I was kind of reckless with it. But again, guys, if you go through what we go through on a daily basis, you got to deal with this shit. And these people are just around here like mocking us. I'm not taking that shit. So I was kind of calling back to back to back. I would call them maybe a couple times a day. You understand? But again, I mean, my whole thing is like, if you're not going to tell the person to stop, if they're not stopping what they're doing, in my mind is like, shouldn't you be going after the person who you reprimanded? I mean, it's kind of like if you tell somebody they can't come to the store anymore, and the store owner calls you and tell you the person who you've already told come, then you know what I mean? So but that situation never happened. They never told the woman to stop. She never got any citation. She wasn't reprimanded whatsoever. So my whole thing is like, well, if you're not going to reprimand her, then why are you coming after me? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this is the person who the complaint is being made about. You should be diligent in trying to stop that person, because the whole thing is if the person stopped making the noise, you wouldn't get the phone call. But what they want is they want the person to continue to be ignorant, but they want to limit my ability to control that energy, right? And so getting back to the story, so I'm sitting here in the car, right? I'm just already pissed off, and they're like trying to convince me how like the police basically are on their way to like to arrest me. Like I'm telling you guys, like, man, I pray that all praise be to the Most High, man, for giving me peace and understanding and wisdom, because He's like speaking to me as like they're just sitting here telling me this shit, man, and I'm just like pissed off. And like my neighbors are outside, they're all listening. My mom got all the windows down in her truck, and they're like yelling, they loud, like, you know what I mean? This is just one big scene, bro, one big fucking scene. And like I already knew what to expect, because I've been here before. So like they're sitting here and they're telling me about the police, and then once they realize that I'm not taking that serious, then they would go with, oh well, then the police were saying the next step is we try to have you admitted to the hospital, or you need to get evaluation. Like it's always us, bro. Like that's how you can tell these motherfuckers are demons, bro. It's like they always revert their wrong to us. Like we're the fucking issues. Like we're the ones around here acting like a bunch of demons, like a bunch of dumbasses. It's not us, bro. It's not us. We wouldn't even know half the people in our lives. Like I wouldn't even know my neighbor's name, bro, if it wasn't for this. Like I wouldn't even know half the people who live around me if it wasn't for this shit, because I wouldn't care about them. You know what I mean? So they're in the car trying to like fucking convince me that either the only option I have is to either like the police are going to come and get me already for calling the police as they feel like in a harassing manner, or I have to go get evaluated, right? So basically, I'm just sitting in my car for like 2 hours breaking them down, bro. Literally breaking them down. Like, bro, I broke them down to the point where when it was all of them done, like my mom went and got me some Chick-fil-A. It was like, these people are so sick, bro. It's like they were so mad, bro. Like, they were so mad and trying to talk to each other under breath and looking at each other in the mirrors and shit. Like, because they knew it wasn't, like, and I told them, like, bro, did you guys really come out here thinking that you guys could convince me to go admit myself in the hospital? Like, like, the things that these people think they had the confidence to do, I don't get it. I don't understand where it comes from. Like, how could you be confident enough to be like, I'm going to go persuade my son who's not mentally ill to go admit himself? Like, you have to laugh at these things, bro, because it'll really piss you off. So, like, I'm sitting here for 2 hours talking to my mom, my grandmother, and my aunt about them trying to convince me that I need a mental evaluation. Now, mind you, if you listen back to my story in 2016, my mom had tried that, right? They had went and got a court order document, and the police came and took me to the hospital and they did evaluation. So that's one thing that you understand, man. Understand the enemy is not going to ask for permission if they can do it forcefully, right? So you have to understand the position that you're in. And so one position I understood was they said the police was concerned for the person calling. And so they were trying to make a courteous call to my mom that they wanted to go, that they were just trying to speak to me. And like I said, the way they worded it was so dumb, because the police know it's me calling. They actually know when I'm about to call, because they know what the people are doing. You understand? So it's not like it's, but you can tell that they're so stupid and guilty by the way they word shit, because it doesn't even make sense. So they were trying to basically tell me that the police were trying to, this was like a warning for me to stop calling the police, basically, about being harassed. You understand that? So basically the police called my mom for them to tell me to stop calling the police about being assaulted. That's basically what happened today. And if I didn't, then they would arrest me, or they would have me, or my other option is I'd go to mental evaluation. Like, they would make me go and have a mental evaluation. You know what I mean? And so, it's crazy, man, because, it's not like what they do gets under my skin. It's just the fact that these people think that they're doing something to me. You know what I mean? It's not like I get mad at them making noise. It's the fact that they think that making noise makes them a better person. You understand? Like, so I can get over, like, getting over the stupid shit is not hard for me. I just don't like disrespect, and I definitely don't like bitch ass people who definitely wouldn't disrespect me to my face, trying to disrespect me behind the law. It's just so fucking, you know what I mean? It's so disgusting, bro. It just makes me want to, like, you know, it's just like, you know these people are straight bitches, bro, because when I go around them and I'm outside, they don't say shit. They don't utter anything, especially not now that I've, bossed up. But it's like, they got to all gang together. And so as I close, man, I just want to tell you guys, man, just watch out, man. Your family is the worst, man. Your family is going to be the first one and always used by Satan. Because they're not your family. They're the ones, they're like your handlers. But watch them, man, because they're going to be the first ones to be used against you. And my mom was literally crying because I wasn't going to go get a mental institution. And it wasn't like crying about her, like, caring for me. It was crying that they could see that what they were doing wasn't going to work. It was like she was so distraught that they couldn't convince me to do the. I mean, I just don't even understand how they thought they could convince me. Excuse me. You know what I mean? It's like, how the fuck did you think you was going to come over here and convince me? How the fuck are you going to convince me that I'm crazy? Are you going to come over here and tell me that I have to, like, go to the hospital or go to like, and then so my mom ends up buying me Chick-fil-A and tells me she loves me. And my aunt's, like, leaving. Like, my aunt and them come in the house. They checked out, like, they're checking the house out and, like, checking the mail. Because this is my grandfather's house. I just stay here. And they, you know what I mean? So it goes from, you're about to go to jail or in a mental institution to let's go to Chick-fil-A. Like, I'm telling you, this is how, like, bro, if it wasn't for me knowing where I was at, bro, I would be, like, looking at my, and I'm telling my mom, I'm like, yo, you're the one who needs help. You're the one who's mentally off. I'm like, bro, there's no way in the world you come over here to tell your son, like, the police about to arrest you. Or you about to go to, like, it was like they were throwing so many things at me, bro. It was like 1 minute I'm getting arrested. The next minute I'm going to a psych ward. The next minute we're in the car eating Chick-fil-A. Like, bro, these people are crazy. You can't, like, bro, there's no way in the world I go from, you need to go get some help, you're about to go to jail, to, let's go get something to eat, guys. Like, bro, I'm telling you, in a matter of hours, bro, their mood changed. Like, bro, it's crazy. It's so scary to see this. And I know there are women, and I'm not saying anything against women, but I'm just saying I know women have mood changes and things like that. But it's not like that. It's not. And when I talk about women, I'm not talking about the human women. I'm only talking about the non-human women, because the human women don't count. Just like when I talk about the guys, I'm not talking about humans. I'm talking about those who are not like us. But yeah, bro, this shit is really deep, man. I'll probably do another video on it because this just happened. Like, literally, I just came in the house from Chick-fil-A from my mom. Like, literally. And I just was like, bro, I got to make a video. And, like, the whole time I'm outside, right, they're making noise. They're cutting grass. They're doing the same shit. I got pictures, right? Like, they're sitting outside in red shirts. They got the guys in the red shirts. They coming by with the loud music. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, bro. But see, the thing is, like, because we've been sensitized to it and we're aware of it, like, we see things for what they really are. And because these motherfuckers are NPCs, like, they just look at it as like, oh, you're crazy. Like, I told my mom, like, they're putting trash in my yard. And, like, they'd have trash by my door, specifically placed by my door when I leave the house. And so my aunt and them are looking at you like, he's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, shit, like, bro. But in closing, bro, let me tell you what shut them up. When I told them I had the sealed signed document from the Department of Justice, and I showed it to my aunt, and see, because my cousin is a police officer, she already knows what real sealed documents look like from the federal government. So when I showed her that document, it kind of shut her up. Like, dead ass. It shut her all the way up because she knew the documents that I had, and she saw the mayor. She knew what I had, bro. But again, they're not going to admit anything. You kind of got to read their body. You got to be discerned. You got to read their body language. You got to read their tone of voice, pitch. So much things going into reading these people. And when I showed her that document, bro, it was an 82-page document. I'll send it to anybody who wants it. You know, it was kind of like game over. You know, it was kind of like, she kind of was like, well, he has a point. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't say that, but you could tell by her body language while she was reading it. She was like, damn, this nigga has a point. But I'll talk to you later, guys.